Hi, I'm Amy. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know Lib and I recently got back from some overseas travel and we've been back home in New Zealand for maybe about a year. So I decided to start up a side hustle and do some jewelry making. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make jewelry such as this one using pewter and cuttlefish bones. If you're wondering why I'm at the beach, it was a nice day and we decided why not do this at the beach. This is the first ring I've made. It is definitely not perfect, so the next one's going to be better. But you can also make quite simple yet elegant earrings. These are good for like corporate wear, or I don't know, if you're going on a date or something. You can do sort of variation in different shapes. But today I'm just going to be showing how to make this pendant here, but similar in theory. Let's go do that. Okay, so this is all the stuff I need to make some jewelry. I've stolen a pair of oven mitts, is that what they're called? I think these, yeah. I have a drill. With the drill I use the 1mm drill bit, a hacksaw, a brush, and a blowtorch. This is like a kitchen grade one, so it's used to like flame like cheese and that sort of thing, so it's not like heavy duty at all, it's pretty cheap. A couple of cast iron pans. This one's for pouring the metal, this one's for like prepping and holding my mold. A clamp, I don't always need this, but sometimes. I use 2 pairs of long nose pliers for the final stages when I'm sort of finishing the jewelry, attaching the hooks and that sort of thing. A small little file. The good thing about this jewelry making is I use pewter, which is quite a soft metal. It's easy to melt, which is why I can use a blowtorch like this, and it also files pretty easily, so I don't need like any super grunty equipment or anything like that. So this is an example of pewter. I found this at the second-hand shop for $4. And on the bottom it says it is leadless pewter, which is ideal because I don't really want to be inhaling lead fumes when I'm melting it. So that's good. And then I just have a few sort of off-cut pieces of pewter in here that I'll use today. So to start, basically I need to create a mold. I use cuttlefish bones, which look like this. You buy them generally from like a pet store. They're maybe $2 each, because people use them to provide calcium to their birds, I think. So I just bulk bought like 10 or 12 or so. Today I'm just going to use this little extra bit that I've got, and you can see if you zoom in how there's like quite a gorgeous natural pattern that's created just from within their bones, and I'm going to be using that pattern to create some nice jewelry. So I will start by showing you how to make a mold. So with the cuttlefish bones, basically how I get a flat surface, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can either rub them together like this until they create a flat surface. They're really, really soft, so they sort of sand away easily. Or you can get a flat piece of sandpaper and just run it along that until you've got it completely flat. And it's important that you have both sides completely flat for when you press them together to create the mold. Otherwise, the metal that we're going to pour through is just going to go straight through somewhere else where we don't want it to go. With like molds that are kind of unsymmetrical and wobbly in shape, I'll just carve them out using like a screwdriver or something. But because I'm creating a circle, I found a cap from a medicine bottle. So I've stolen this, and all I'm going to do is on one side I'm going to press that in where I like the look of the pattern, And I'm probably going to aim for maybe 3 millimeters deep. So just like that. I can start with that and I can always add more. Because I'm wanting to make a hole in the center, I've gotten my pen and I'm going to be using the end of this pen to create that hole in the center. And I'm also wiggling this one in about 3 millimeters deep. So that's what it looks like. And now I'm going to scrape out the outside. Yeah, the outside bit, that's right. So I'll fast forward this and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so I have finished making my mold. You can see there's quite a nice pattern throughout the whole thing. So as you're carving the pattern, you don't have to be super particular about like carving correctly and like with it being super even, because the pattern's just kind of a bit random, and it always turns out fine, touch wood. So that is the finished bit for this section. The next step is I need to carve out a channel. This brown bit's from like an old mold that I did on this piece. So I'm going to carve out a channel, and I'm also going to carve out the same channel so they line up on this piece here as well. So that way when I squeeze them together and pour down the pewter, it's got a channel to go through, and then it's going to sort of fill up this void here. And this can be super rough, doesn't matter too much, but I am making sure that the channel doesn't go deeper than the mold that I have created. So I'm just lining them up so I know where to carve the channel on the other side. I'm just going to sketch out a rough line for me to follow. So that's my channel there, and this piece I'm keeping completely flat. So actually I'll brush it first just to get rid of any sort of dusty debris. I'm pressing them together. The cuttlefish is quite solid on the outside. It's like difficult to break, and it's really soft on the inside. So you can kind of be quite firm with the outside piece. Then I'm going to grab a piece of wire and I'm just going to wrap it around several times, as tight as I can really. And it's best to use something like wire rather than tape, because when you're pouring the pewter, if you get some, and I have done this a few times, if you get pewter on the outside then it just burns straight through the tape, whereas it's fine with wire. So now I've got my mold complete. I'm gonna put it in my trusty pile of rocks, just upright, and then we can move on to melting the pewter. I've got a few offcuts of pewter here. The cool thing is you can melt it and then reuse it over and over again, and it doesn't lose its properties and strength. So for like any offcuts that I get from like previous bits of jewelry, I just toss it straight back in and then remelt it. So I've got a few pieces, that should be enough, and grab my oven mitt, put it on the handle, and then I'm gonna start up my blowtorch. Sweet, that should take 10 to 15 minutes to cool. It's also just started raining, which is not ideal, but I'll show you the reveal soon. So it's been, I want to say maybe like 10 minutes. I can feel that it's pretty cold to touch. So I'm gonna reveal it, and I really hope it's worked. We'll find out. Ta-da! Sweet. So it's pretty normal to kind of have these sort of burrs around the outside. I usually just sort of file them down. I'm pretty happy with that. I think I can see the vision. I think it's gonna look good. I'm gonna use my long nose pliers to break off these burrs. I didn't bring it with me, but at home I've got like a little tiny jar that I put pieces like this because, you know, I don't want to waste it. So I'll just put it there for now. And then for the main bit, I'm going to use my hacksaw. It's a little bit excessive. I would like to have a smaller one, but this is just what I had basically. So I'll come over here. So I've removed the top, and I'm just going to add this back into my bag of offcuts to use next time. So I'm just going to file the edges. Luckily, because it's pewter, not like silver or something, it comes off pretty easily, so it should only take a couple minutes. I have finished filing it down, so there's no rough edges. Don't look too closely because the hole is not particularly centered, but that's okay, they're meant to be imperfect. So now the final step is to drill a hole and then attach some jump rings before I can put it on my necklace. I have this little screw thing, like a wall hook, that I'm going to use to mark out where I want to drill. I want to put my hole quite close to the top, so to the edge, so I can fit my jump ring through it. So I'm just gonna do that, give it a little bash. Now I've got my drill. I'm pretty sure this is a 1mm drill bit. I'll edit the video and say otherwise if it's not. So I'm just putting my drill bit into my pre-marked dot. Drilling through. It's pretty easy. And then I'm just gonna file off the small burr that always forms on the other side. Now I think my jump rings are 6mm. I'll also edit the video if that's wrong. I hold them with my 2 long nose pliers and then twist to open them. Thread it through my hole and then twist to close them. Here's my necklace. I'm going to find the halfway point. I'm going to say it's that one there. And then I'm going to reopen my jump ring, thread it through, and I will be done. It is now complete. Let's see what it looks like on. And it's done. Have a close look. Thanks for watching. If you want to see any more tutorials on how to make jewelry, like earrings or rings like I showed you earlier, let me know in the comments and I'll make that work.